Today we want to extend what we looked at yesterday in factoring to 3 different things yet. So first, we want to look at factoring when there's a greatest common factor. Anytime we factor, we always want to look for a greatest common factor first. Meaning I always want the first thing I do to be checking, is there anything I can divide all the pieces by? Now, all of the problems we did yesterday, there wasn't a greatest common factor, so we didn't talk about that. Okay? But today, we want to talk about that because if I tried to use a box without finding the greatest common factor first, 1, it would make the numbers in my X a whole lot bigger, or my diamond, a whole lot bigger, and 2, it's going to kind of mess up the box a little bit or make it so that the box doesn't always work right. So in this problem, when I look at those 3 terms, I see I can divide all of them by 5. That means I have a greatest common factor of 5. The most common mistake people make is forgetting to put the 5 on the outside of parentheses when they rewrite this problem. So if I undistribute a 5, right, if I take a 5 out of those pieces, I still would have 1x squared plus 3x plus 2 left. And now I factor that trinomial that's left in parentheses just like we did yesterday. Right. So I'm going to draw myself a box and say that x squared, the first term goes in the first box, the last term goes in the last box, and I multiply those together to get the top of my diamond. I need the diagonal to add up to 3. So what 2 numbers multiply to 2 and add up to 3? Well, the only numbers that multiply to 2 are 1 and 2. So it must be 1x plus 2x. Then if I find the greatest common factor of each row and each column, right, what is the biggest thing I can divide both of the terms in my first row by? Well, it would be x. The only way to get x squared is x times x. In front of my second row, x times what would get me 2x? Well, that would be 2. And the top of my second column, x times what is 1x? And that would be 1. Okay. So the 5 that we divided by at the beginning, that greatest common factor, still stays in front of my answer. But now, instead of a trinomial, I have that I broke that into x plus 1 and x plus 2. So my factors were x plus 1 and x plus 2. Right. So one more time, the only difference from what we worked on yesterday was that we have to find that greatest common factor first, anytime there is one. So when I look at this second problem, I want to see, is there anything before I start looking at making a diamond in a box, right, is there anything I can divide all of these pieces by? And it turns out that there is. The only number I can divide them by is 1, but I never like having a negative quadratic term, a negative in the front. So I'm going to take out a negative 1. Right? So if I factor out a negative 1, right, out of all of those pieces, I put the negative 1 on the outside and undistribute. So instead of multiplying, we're dividing. I would have had 4x squared plus 8x and minus 5. Again, if I didn't take that negative out first, it kind of makes the box a little bit messed up. Okay. Technically, I could still continue factoring and take it out later, but that gets really messy too. So we always want to focus on taking out the greatest common factor first. Okay. Then I can factor the part that's left just like we did yesterday. So 4x squared in my first box, negative 5 in my last box. When I multiply those together, I get negative 20. Right, so multiply to negative 20, but that other diagonal has to add up to positive 8. Right, so I make my list. 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 3 doesn't work, 4 times 5. Which of those is going to let me get positive 8 when I add them together? Since it multiplied to be a negative, that means one's positive and the other's negative. which means really which ones have a difference of 8, and that would be my 2 and 10. So it would be 10 and negative 2, right? If I want the answer to be positive, the bigger number has to be positive. So I get positive 10x and negative 2x, and then what can I take out yet of each row and each column? So across the first row, it looks like they're both even, and they both have x's, so I can divide both of those by 2x. And I could keep checking, or I could work backwards. 2x times what would get me 4x squared? Well, the top of the first column must be 2x. And then the top of the second column, 2x times what is positive 10x, must have just been positive 5. 2x times what is negative 2x? In front of the bottom row would be a negative 1. And then positive 5 times negative 1 is negative 5, so that worked out. So to write my final answer, right, I would rather not show this 1 if I don't need to, so I'm just going to put a negative sign. If you included the 1, I wouldn't mark it wrong, right, but a negative sign, and then 2x plus 5 times 2x minus 1. Again, if you wrote those in the other order and put the 2x minus 1 first, that would be okay also. So either one of those works for a correct answer. So see if you could try a few practice problems. Again, it's up to you if you use the box method or the distributive property, but I think the box method really helps you keep a little organized.